Here's what I'll actually, we'll just kick off with that. So
It's always good to have a second set of eyes look at something,
No, it totally is. So in the world of ads, because we've gone through outsource, in-source, currently, and my favorite iteration is completely outsourced, over two main like functions. So there's, in the ads process, you need creative, you need like the technical prowess to just like launch, campaign ad set ads, and then you need like the evaluation. People are like, I looked at the numbers, I saw the thing, and I made sure on day 3 I increased the budget by 10%, and we're out of KPI, we're in KPI, kind of a thing there. So the second two things is what we outsource, and have had great success with that. So it's not complete ownership over the entire ads process from that perspective. It's a big chunk of the ads process, but that's what we currently do, and it's worked well from us. If anybody wants a referral, I'm happy to make like the referral to our person.
Drop your
I'm always
affiliate link.
though, because I don't want them to be. No, I have no affiliate relationship. If I make a connection, I'm not making any kickback. It is only that I don't want to overwhelm them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been
Right,
gone through a lot of it, and so. But I also say Elliot runs Friday calls.
Yeah,
and Elliot has his own agency, and he handles that process too. So that could be someone to talk to if anybody else is curious.
Hey, one of the cool things, I'll just like interject here. If people are like, what do you mean one of the calls? Like someone's just watching this and they're saying, what do you mean one of the calls? Well, if you're new to like my call here with Matt, what Matt's talking about is when you're a member with HL Pro Tools, you get access to expert call coaching throughout the week, various, strategy calls, technical calls, things like that. It's a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah. So
that's how I got started.
So if you want to go on the type of calls that Dar, started off with, we have those are in HL Pro Tools. But okay, back to our regularly scheduled conversation here. Dar, we'll keep it short for us. I got like 5 questions. And I'll answer it too. We'll go back and forth. What was the most important decision you made in the last 7 days? And what forced the decision? And what was like a trade-off that you felt like in that?
Interesting enough, it's about ads.
Okay.
So I've grown my business through maybe not the most popular way to grow the business, through like the Dream 100 method and through associations. And so what I'm doing now is I feel like ads are a deficiency of mine. So, and it shouldn't be, but here we are 6 years into the digital marketing world. Like if I would have just like hunkered down for 2 weeks or a month and like learned it, like I know this, like, the flow of how it should all be, just like which exact button to push and what exact thing to, and so I feel like that's a deficiency. And for the stuff I'm doing now, I want to run ads. So it's like, okay, I'm going in, I'm putting this chunk of money aside as burn money, learn money, right? That I'm just going to put in and take my lumps while I learn it, so I can learn how to liquidate the ads and anyway.
Oh, very fun. That's cool. Yeah. That's an exciting shift. And
how about you?
Yeah. I think there's 2 roles in our organization that Graham or I have still held, and they're like, they're top level director, manager kind of roles there. And so we did 2 things on that. Like we've kind of cycled through different recruiting efforts and mixed results. So it's like someone's asking like a trade-off. It is a weird thing. Like if you're in the zone of like, I want a top performer in not necessarily just like a specialized role, but you're like, this is a significant role
Mm-hmm.
and sort of specialized. You really don't get the best results by just saying like, here's a job application. Because I don't want to hire someone who hates their job or is unemployed. I want to poach someone.
Right.
Like that's actually like best case scenario is I want someone who is doing something similar. Poach sounds bad, but like I want to,
Sure.
I want to get in front of and create an opportunity that would be appealing to someone like typically like your best fit person is doing something similar in a higher degree. So even like beyond what you need.
Yeah.
And for whatever reasons of life circumstances, they are willing to make the jump. And so we secured a recruiter for a couple of roles like that. And we're very close to hiring someone. And here's an example of their circumstances. Like they were at a company for 5 years. The company's through the process of going public. So, someone's like, how would that be possible where someone's achieving beyond what you need, but they'd still be open to it? So one, they're not like applying for roles then, like, right. So we're seeking out who'd be potential top tier candidates. And you can kind of reverse engineer into it. So a company like that, like a typical vesting schedule for someone is 4 years. So that means this company's going public. Their options are vested, meaning if they leave, they have no downside. Like all of their options are totally vested. And because the company's in the process of going public, there's no bonus. You know what I mean? Right. So if the company's going to go public in 6 months, they're probably already thinking, hey, this is going to go public. I'll be able to sell my shares. So liquidate all like the goodwill that I earned over the last 5 years. But it also typically means the organization is maturing in the middle. And so it means they're going to probably have a new boss. You know what I mean? Like there's all sorts of like middle management that gets robust, but you're also kind of in a waiting zone there. So here's a great example of somebody who did they did beyond what we need. They were so successful and part of such a successful organization that organization's going public. And we're able to like catch them in this moment where they were not shopping for something. They're not applying to jobs. But they were like intrigued by the conversation, intrigued by the opportunity. And they also realized like, they kind of have no downside. So they could take our role and offer, already have locked in benefit and like, their shares are going to vest anyways. And being like in that kind of space where you're at the company for 5 years, you're typically under market value because you were retained with like stock options. Yeah. And it's like, great. So it's like, now all of, their felt unearned opportunity. So there's an example of something we've leaned into more in the last week. And so I'm excited for more roles like that, where you just realize, pick wherever you want to go. And if you stack a team around you who's already done it, the odds that you're going to do it are so much higher. And that's why it's like, for Darna and others, if someone's asking us like, how do you go from 0 to 100 users? We're like, that's seems so easy to us because we've done it. And so you can kind of like run that same sort of system. So that's,
it's just like, okay, it's a matter of the process. So get in and do it. Just get in and here are the steps. You just do it every day. Well, that's very cool for you and cool for whoever the potential team member is. Because they're coming into, a really good culture. You have a great culture over there, and the people who like hang around and become part of that culture realize it. So that's cool. Happy for them, happy for you. And if they're not a good fit, boot them the hell out.
I'm hopeful. I mean,
no assholes allowed. That's my motto. In fact, I told a couple people that this week. I'm getting a little more bold. Like, sorry, man, no assholes allowed. It's too many nice people to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good position when you can say no. And maybe with that, I'm curious. When the last week did you hear anything that was a complaint that you either prioritized or did not prioritize. So it's like, what did somebody complain about that actually mattered? And
Yeah.
or like, what did you choose not to fix? So there was a complaint. It actually mattered.
Well, ironically, it it comes down to the assholes, and I'm sorry to go right there, but you know, I want to deliver the best experience for everybody, regardless
Yeah.
where they are. You know, like it's just like you know how it is. We can do something right for 99 people, and like they're all saying this is amazing, this is great. And you got one person or two people, blah 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 blah, and I don't know this, and I can't log into that, and this experience, and I'm like. You're like, oh, I got to spend my time on it. And you go back and retrace the steps, and no, you got your access here, and here's the stuff here, and here's the like. Do you know how to check your spam folder? Do you know how to be anyway? Those get under my skin because on the one hand, I want a community of people who are positive and resourceful or learn how to be resourceful. But I also want to make sure that I haven't just caught them on a bad day, and that I can, if I just, because I know there are days in my life that I've been an asshole. If I'm just being honest, I don't try to be, but so like maybe I've caught them on a bad day, so I try to respond in the most empathetic, emotionally intelligent way. Yeah, so that's. Those are the things that get me. Like and it will honestly break my stride when I'm like really doing good for others to respond to some complaints. But also, if you're open to it, like there's always room for improvement. So even some of those that get under my skin, where I'm right and they're wrong, and but I'm like, but how can I improve here? The process, you know.
It's really good. I can think of one thing I disregarded as a customer complaint and one thing that we lived into. So the one that I disregarded, you come across this, is people have like a $5 budget and like a $500 appetite. And
Oh
so
yeah,
this is, and I saw this happen, and I empathize with it because it's hard in the digital space for people to get that like connection. But I think
right.
maybe this happens in the real world too. Like you show up to the hot dog stand and you're like, are you kidding me? Like, why wasn't this served on real china? And you're like, you just spent $3 on a hot dog. And you're upset that it wasn't on like a real china plate.
Yeah.
That feedback happens not all the time, because you try and like right size price to product. And so
Right.
it's like, it's one thing if you spent $50 on a hot dog and you're like, no plate. You're like, okay, that is a high priced hot dog. They
Right.
probably should have, taken that feedback. But other times you're like, how much do you spend again? And I just have to laugh. So there was like a complaint that came up, and it was, they were looking for, personalized attention, even from me. And I
Yeah.
was like, how much, who are we talking about here? Right? Do I need to like shift things around? And they spend, less than what I spend every day on coffee with us as a company. And you're like, oh no, like you walked into Starbucks, you walked into Apple, and you're like, where do I book my meeting with like Steve Jobs? And you're like, what did you buy? Like a song on iTunes. And you're like, this is like, there's total dissonance there. So, and I had to like empower. So like I said no, and I was also like, okay, let's craft a kind response, because I don't doubt Apple had those kind of folks come in. And the key thing is to script it in such a way that you're like, this is the right answer. You're not going to love it, but at least we're all saying the same thing.
Right.
One of our core values is tell people what you can do, not what you can't do. And so it's a hard, nuanced thing there. And so like, if anybody's wondering, how do I navigate that? Our example of response there is like, Matt would love to meet everybody and do strategy. That's just like functionally not possible. So instead, what he's done is committed to a regular content schedule where he's giving you the same advice that he'd give you if you were standing there on the call. There's no gatekeeping. There's no like secret sauce that he doesn't share in that space.
Yeah.
And so tune into one of those calls, search through it. If you're looking for a specific question, we can reference one of those pieces. But that's how he's able to serve as many people as possible while not creating a barrier to that advice that has to do with high costs. And so that was one thing where it's like, I got the negative and I totally disregarded it. The other thing that was like feedback that I was like, oh, absolutely, this needs to happen, is there were still areas in our business that didn't at least have like, I don't know how to put this, but it's like AI give a chance. So here's an example that I've realized for my own email inbox is, let's say, I don't even run my inbox. Let's say Tiffany's out of the office. And so there's one version, you send an email that says, hey, out of the office this week, probably not going to get a response for a week or whatever it is. Like we've all emailed that. And so you get the auto and usually says like, if it's urgent, go here, and it escalates to another person. I was like, well, why not? I don't think it'd be more offensive to say, hey, I'm out of the office this week. Human will get you, here's your human escalation, or I'll be back at this date. Also, here's AI's attempt to like answer your email based on all of our context. And so you just pair auto responders with also like why not let AI give a chance here, right? Like, because we could believe it's too nuanced, it's too personalized, like AI can't do it. But I'm like, if even 10% of the time the person's like, yeah, that was exactly the answer I was looking for. Yeah. That's 10% of the people who didn't have to wait. And the other 90%, you're like, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like hold music. It's like, if you want to wait in silence, you can wait in silence, but maybe you'll enjoy the song. And so then while you're waiting, it's not completely, I don't know, or like while you're waiting, there's a 10% chance. Yeah. The waiting process is more pleasurable. And so that's the, that was one thing that was like a feedback. It's like, oh, we can do this. Let's get this done.
Quick break. I hope you're enjoying this video, and I really appreciate you being here. More than anything, I hope this content helps you do whatever it is that you are trying to do. If you're watching the video, you're probably looking for a way to use AI and HighLevel to build a real business or to improve your existing business. This is what I help people do. I show you how to help local businesses with AI voice, AI chat, AI reviews, automations, websites, and more. If you want to get started, I have a 30-day free trial link to HighLevel right below this video. And when you use my link to activate your 30-day free trial, you don't just get the software. You get my AI agency website template to help you look like an expert from day one. You get my AI agents and my personalized demo system to help you show prospects what you can do for them. You also get access to my community where you can get support, training, resources, and help as you build your business. Hey, do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Tell me what kind of business you're working on or what kind of business you want to build. Ask me any questions about this video or anything else you need help with. I read all the comments, I respond to them as quickly as possible, and I would love to hear what you're working on. All right, back to the video. You know what, man? I think that's great because the world's going there anyway. We're going to get there anyway. You figure out how to do it first. You're ahead of the curve. Plus, let me just stop and just tell people really quick who are tuning in the first time or maybe have been around for a while. Can we just all agree Matt is the master of analogies? I don't know that we've ever had a conversation where some sort of hot dog on China, Apple selling just the song, not the
the hold music and the
hold music. Oh yeah. My God, that's 3 right in the last like 10 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah. Oh my gosh, my wife hates it. It's a gift. This is it's over. It's a gift and a curse. I try to speak plainly. So if someone else is like, that's the most annoying thing that Matt does, I'm like, you know what? You're not alone. My wife does not love it. My love of metaphors. For me in my mind, this is how I lock things down, is in those associations. So and for whatever reason, the metaphors feel more like I'm feeling. Like instantly it clicks for me. And I'm like, oh yeah, they bought an iTunes song. They want to speak with Steve Jobs. Like, oh, I get that. Like I instantly understand the feeling. Whereas if I'm like, you bought a $2 digital product and wanted to like have a Zoom call. It just like doesn't, I like understand it, but I don't.
Well, next month when I'm in California and I connect with, that's the first thing I'll be like, man, I just love Matt's metaphor. Don't you love them? Analogies.
Matt's
You gotta
metaphors.
like, you're so lucky you get to have them every day.
Yeah. She'll love that. She'll laugh. She'll laugh at that actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Last
right, next.
question for us. What is recently any way that you've slowed down? As I feel like as a leader,
Mhm.
I challenge myself in this way. I'm just wondering if there's any kind of recent example where you feel like, yeah, you know what? I found a way to slow down, to preserve
You know
my
what?
space, my health, whatever it might be.
I don't have a good answer for you. I can tell you, I would like to be a morning person. I would like to be, but I just tend to be. I work late into the evenings. Like my stride really kind of starts right in the afternoon, but then I work too late. Then I'm tired in the morning. So I kind of take it easy in the mornings as I'm just like structuring out my day and what I'm going to get done. So I have that time, but unique to that, the vehicle purchase that I recently got, even though it's a fast vehicle, has been a slowdown for me. So I'm getting out more, and I'm just going and having those therapy sessions of just like, there's no radio, there's no nothing, there's just engagement, and it's great.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have the phrase, if you work with your mind, you rest with your hands. And maybe it's a little bit for you. It's like, I'm still maybe working on the car, tinkering there, but it's a different type of work. And so, I think people would like not expect, here's a good example is, I'm actually going to be moving offices again. So the building that I'm in now, it's actually this big kind of like warehouse of a barn.
Yeah.
And so built a shed. So I'm going to be going to a shed office, and 6 months from now, if you guys see the background change again, you're like, it's a shed. And so built up this shed, and then I'm going to trench. It's about 200 feet from the main house.
Yeah.
And I'm going to run like a power line, some other data cables, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I rented a 36-inch trencher.
Yeah.
And I'm just operating heavy machinery, and trenching, just trenching for conduit and this whole process there. And so it was,
it's great to work with your hands.
It's kind of a fun slowdown, and like I delegate so much that I can get like cognitive dissonance where I'm like, why am I? It's so in the moment I'm like, why am I doing this? Also because it's like working the trencher, I don't get any steps. It's a ride-on trencher, so you're like, okay, now I'm spending time.
Oh, well, you just lost credibility right there.
Oh, because it's not a pole.
I thought we were out there like.
Even if no, it's a ride-on. It's like a 36-inch heavy machinery. I love it. So it's like a little tiny tractor trencher kind of thing there. But I'm like, I don't think people would expect this. And
next thing you know, Matt's got a fish pond. He's just like digging up,
popping up projects all over the place. But so that act of just like trenching, laying conduit. You bury it back up, and it's not, I think it's a lot of like work with your hands. It's like productive and not the most efficient way. Now, to be fair, if I'd hand trenched it, that would be even more relaxing.
But it does let your mind rest. Like your mind rests in a different way. Yeah. Like you still got to think about what you're doing, but it's a whole different, I completely agree.
So it was a slowdown of the mind. So.
Even when we were building bikes, like there was, there's a lot of thought that goes into the design of the bike, how it all comes together, purchasing from 40 different vendors and tracking those purchase orders and all the business side of things. But then when you're in the back of the shop and you just have the parts there and you're putting the parts together or refining something so it fits just right or it looks right, that balance, I mean, that business actually had a great balance of both, whereas the business we're in now does not have that balance. I mean, it's a great formula, having a online digital marketing business, but it doesn't have that sort of balance.
Yeah, it's very true.
So you have to force yourself to get out and get a trencher.
Yeah, I'm realizing, as I said, I was like, oh man, it would have been more work with your hands if I had hand dug the trench. But yeah, I drew the line. I was like, I will do a couple hours of work, not a couple days. If I hand dug 200 feet of, because I have to go like 24 inches down too. I mean, you got to get at least 18. It would be a big dig there. But so, awesome. Well, that's what we got for this week, everybody. Hopefully you maybe ask yourself your own, like these similar questions. What are the things that negative feedback maybe you should be ignoring? What are ways you're slowing down? What are things that we're doing to continue to grow the business? Find innovative ways there. And if you need, check out the schedule if you're inside of the members area for we're running like 10 plus calls every single week there. So I saw people asking like for marketing and offers and the ad side of stuff, design stuff, vibe coding. So take advantage of that. If you're
not in the members area, if you're seeing this through some other channel, Matt, can you plug the shirt you're wearing real quick? HL Pro Tools.
Yeah, HL Pro Tools. Here's what I'll say: if you're seeing this through a different channel, Dar will have a special link, and just use the link down below. We'll make it super easy if you want to try us out. Absolutely low risk. And if you're in the HighLevel ecosystem, we exist to make launching, growing, scaling, supporting easier. That's it. So we've got a ton of tools that help with that sort of stuff. Got a ton of coaching calls that help with that sort of stuff. We've got VAs. You can like just delegate and be like, go and do this for me. We've got the support team running 24/7 live chat, like all sorts of angles of problems there. Some obviously it's a different problem for launching than like scaling and supporting thousands of plus users, but nobody has supported more folks in the HighLevel ecosystem than HL Pro Tools. And so if you want to give us a try, I'm sure Dar's going to have a link around here. You should click on and take a look.
What you don't get is Matt's phone number.
I'll text you.
But you get a lot of other really great stuff.
You should know it's a LC phone line. So I think some people think
with an AI tied to it.
With an AI tied to it. Yeah. So you can.
There you go.
We're good business to funnel hack if you want to see our process too. So
yeah. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week then.
Thanks all. Until next time.